I am gaming. I am gaming. I am gaming podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for being on the latest episode of I Am Gaming Podcast. This is a podcast about the video game industry, entrepreneurship, gaming nostalgia, really cool upcoming tower defense sci-fi games, and many more cool things I find to be in the same realm of business and creative ventures. Like always, first and foremost, a huge, enormous, gigantic thanks goes to my podcast patron supporters who really make this podcast a possibility in the real world and not an idea in my mind that doesn't exist. Without your generous monthly donations, I wouldn't be able to continue doing what I'm doing right now, and that's making podcast episodes week in, week out, every week, once, every Sunday. I Am Gaming Podcast is here with me because of you. So once again, thanks so much for your generous donations. Everyone else, please check out my Patreon supporters in the description below and see if you'd like to support them as well. And of course, check out my Patreon link and see if you'd like to support me as well. This is episode 197, and today I'm talking about a really cool game I already talked about previously, but now I have some new developments in my personal case and in the case of the game itself, which is that I started working as a consulting game designer on a really cool upcoming tower defense game set in space called the Fall of Aether Station. Right now, the same game is already available on Steam and on itch.io, where you can try out the demo, but the bottom line is this: you're basically going to, if you'd like to play a really cool, complex and very appealing tower defense game set in the distant future, in the outer space, where you basically level in, level out, have the task of protecting your station from incoming fleets. Now I'm going to help out in the coming weeks and months, like I said, as a consulting game designer, and I'm going to work on some systems and subsystems. The thing I really love about the game is the fact that it takes its sci-fi incredibly seriously. That's where I come in part, to help with the same process of blending sci-fi concepts with the nitty-gritty system design. And that is an amazing thing for me. Any indie game that goes all in into sci-fi is already a winner, and in this case I'm certain that Aether Station is going to have a lot of fans as soon as it comes out, because it has that feeling, in my view, of basically homeworld in a different perspective, in a different setting, in a different aesthetic, but still a lot of that appeal of homeworld as a game that really sets you in a fantastic experience of outer space, distant future combat and warfare. The same thing is present with this title, and that's a major achievement already. Right now we're all working hard on, the entire team and myself, on making it even better, even more dense, even more in-depth, and even more appealing to anyone who is basically either a fan of sci-fi, science fiction, or tower defense games. If you like both, this is going to literally be the thing that you'll love immediately. It's really hard for me to imagine anyone who fits that profile who tries out the title and says like, nothing special. You might have some issues with it, of course, it's an indie project, it's not a perfect game, it's not going to be a perfect game, but still the core appeal for that audience and myself is included there. I'm a big fan of sci-fi, of course, I'm a huge fan, and I like tower defense games, is present here and is so direct and so present in a very, how should I put it, visceral manner. It's immediately there. After a minute or two of playing, you can already sense both the complexities and the in-depth appeal that the game brings. With that, it's hard for me to imagine anyone who is into either of these things, and especially those who are into both tower defense and sci-fi, who will not fall in love immediately. The game is developed by Nibble and Byte Game Studio. Like I said, I have the privilege and an awesome opportunity to work as a consulting game designer I'm looking forward to months that are to come before the release and giving it my best shot to make sure that the game is as good as possible, at least in my domain, the domain where I can have some influence, and then having the ability to see it in action once it hits the audience. Again, the game is available both on store and itch.io. If you can, please visit the store Steam page and wishlist the game. The wishlist is incredibly important for any indie team. This is no different. So if you can, check out the link in the description below, go to the page and wishlist it, because it will really mean a lot to us, not just now to keep us going and to keep us motivated, but when the game finally comes out. So again, please, if you can, wishlist the game on Steam. Link is in the description below. You would do us a world, a universe, a cosmos of favor. So there you have it. Again, it's a big honor and big opportunity to work on the game. I'm really, really grateful for it. So thanks to the entire team at Nibble and Bite Game Studios. You, if you can, wishlist the Fall of Aether Station now, and we'll see you when the game comes out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep you updated as the development goes along. And of course, when the release time comes, we're going to party like it's 1999 or the fourth millennium, 99. That's it for me. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for being here. If you can, please check out my Patreon page. Leave $1 or $2 per month. $1 per month would be perfect. $3 per month is actually the thing I love seeing the most, because it's something that a lot of people find sustainable and means to me that they're really willing to back this project of mine, this podcast of mine, on a level that is above basic. So $1 per month, $3 per month, hey, you would be making me really, really happy. If you can afford it, please. If you can't, I completely understand. There are a bunch of other ways how you can support me. All of them include paying something apart from the cheapest, easiest, simplest, and most likely most meaningful for me way to support me in the long term, and that's to simply subscribe to my channel and be here for my new videos. So please, if you can, choose some of these methods and help I'm Gaming Podcast continue to be I'm Gaming Podcast. Again, something that is not just in my head, but it's here for you, for the whole world to listen and hopefully enjoy and get maybe, just maybe, potentially some useful information, like in this case about me spreading the word related to the Fall of Aether Station, which you should, if you can, right now, wishlist on Steam. That's again all for me. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for listening. And I would love to see you in precisely 7 days from now on the new episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. My name is Ivica. Thanks again and have a great week. Bye bye.